It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And coming up, we'll see the workhorse, Jonathan Taylor. He had a great week today.
The final weekend of the summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are as we are off and running on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. They'll start on the ground with Pierce, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Well, this defense for the Colts, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect, keep everyone in and run the ball, or maybe just 1 or 2 receiver routes in order to try and keep your quarterback upright.
And just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. Pierce will try to pick it up. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down. It was just 3rd down and short, but he bit off a little extra.
I would say way more than he could chew, but he chewed up all that yardage in a big way. And that, to me, that was a combination of offensive line, stacked defense, and they handled it. Okay, they got the leverage, they got the blocking angle. A nice crease, and once you get past that first wave, there's room to roam.
And that's just the 3rd play from scrimmage. They wanted to avoid that 3-and-out, and they did.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus, and indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. That's good for 28 yards.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Ball at the 6 here as they work with a 2nd and 2. Mills to the air again. Caught on the slant. Touchdown. Tyler Johnson, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Texans will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Gano the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays, and it results in the Texans finding the end zone. Takes it at the 7. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. They're led by the number 1 overall pick in the 2021 draft, Trevor Lawrence.
And he certainly had his share of struggles in the opener, threw a couple of ill-timed interceptions in the game. So that was something that was harped upon all week in practice. Because if he's going to help this team be a winning one, he can't give the football away like he did last week.
And he'll get this up just shy of the 30. Well, look there at his numbers on the ground a week ago. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Out of the gun, it's Lawrence. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Malik McDowell able to get him down for a loss of 11, and it brings up 4th down. As Sanchez on to punt here as he sends this one away. It's taken to the 26. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game. Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. First down, Mills. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they're going to get this up to midfield. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Texans football to start quarter 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. 1st and 10, it's Pierce. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Mills now from the 50. And his throw here's incomplete.
Really good coverage all over the field. It took away his intended read and almost dared him to try for his guy out of the backfield. No surprise on that one. It doesn't connect.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Here's Tommy Townsend on to punt. Yeah, last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. Rodgers on the return. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Colts will go on offense here. 1st and 10. Second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
That could have been a huge play, but give the defender credit. Stayed calm, stayed collected, and kept himself in a position to make a play on the ball without a penalty.
They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. So that was a very nice play, Charles, from a very speedy cornerback.
And I think really good defenders can sniff out those screen passes. Just something that they can feel, something that they can sense about how the quarterback drops back or how the linemen are just a little slow to block the oncoming rushers. He read it perfectly. Got in there and made the play.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the 1st down. On 3rd down, Lawrence. Trying to get it to Anderson, but it's intercepted. Oh, good move. And the Texans are going to take possession of the football. Boy, he had to fit that into a pretty tight window over the middle. And, Charles, I think they were in zone defensively, weren't they?
They certainly were. Nice read on your part. And sometimes quarterback isn't fooled between zone and man. Sometimes you're fooled by the type of zone that he sees, because oftentimes those linebackers will vacate and run downfield with receivers. In this case, he played a pure zone and was in the wrong spot for the QB.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Mills. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. It was the linebacker, Shaquille Leonard, who applied the heat. So now after the sack, Mills and the Texans needing to navigate a 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. flushed out right. And he'll just get rid of it.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing fourth down.
Gano's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
Here comes the Colts offense now as they make their way onto the field.
Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. Let's see if they can do better here on this drive.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
They run once more with Taylor.
And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Out is Rigoberto Sanchez on 4th down to punt this thing. Look at those stick skills. He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And his guys are going to have a 1st and goal down at the 3-yard line. They're quite a turn of events. This is 1st and goal from the 3.
Here's Mills.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Alexander Madison from 3 yards out.
And the Texans are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Extra point try good by Gano. And that makes our score 17-0. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now.
The toss here completed to Pittman.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and score.
Lawrence hit and the ball is free.
And the Texans scoop it. And they take over already 5 yards deep into the red zone at the 15-yard line.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Mills to throw it.
Over the middle, complete. That's Johnson.
And the Texans are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line. They'll run here with Pierce.
And he fights his way into the end zone for a Texans touchdown.
Dameon Pierce, his 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Texans continue to pull away here in this first half.
Gano the extra point, and the rout is on here in this first half. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive.
And it was Dameon Pierce closing things out with a touchdown run. Bringing it out of his end zone, Isaiah Rodgers. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Colts going to take over now late in this first half.
And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to...
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Jalen Petrie picks it off, and the Texans are going to take possession of the football. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half.
Mills now looks to throw on first down.
Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Julian Blackmon. And the Colts will have the football as this is taken up past the 30.
It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is...
He's got a man. Complete. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down.
Now Lawrence to throw.
Now he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. Robbie Anderson, his second touchdown on the season.
And the Colts are on the board here in the final minute of the first half.
Extra point right down the middle. And that'll make it 24-7. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tiny 2-play drive that time.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. And the Texans going to get the football one final time here in this first half. And with a 3-score lead already, this is not time for a momentum change, so I'd imagine they'd be happy to just take this into the locker room.
And he'll be brought down by the Colts. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. They don't want to repeat a first down. They'll keep it on the ground. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the first down. This defense not budging. Back-to-back carries of just 2 yards.
Well, everyone's eager to resume play here in this Week 2 contest, so we push right through halftime and back at it for the start of quarter 3.
Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon.
This will be fielded inside the 5.
Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And he's going to take this all the way down inside the 40.
You know, we always talk about the chess match in a football game, but we're usually talking about offensive coordinator versus defensive coordinator. How about the special teams coaches? I think we just saw a big-time adjustment by one to help his team get a spark to start the second half.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Here's Lawrence to throw. He'll drop this down to Taylor, and he'll be brought down at the 27.
We often talk about understanding the playbook, understanding progressions, and understanding what the defense is doing. We saw all settled down on that play. Great recognition and understood where his running back was going to be. Found a way to have him leak out underneath, hit him with the football, and they picked up the first down.
And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Lawrence. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. And he'll find Pittman. And the Colts are going to have 1st and goal coming up as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 2.
And this is an offense in need of getting a few good things to happen. Here's one right here. They've had their share of struggles in key moments, but that's a nice throw and nice work after the throw. And they're set up now with a 1st and goal.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
A terrific job there to keep him out of the end zone. And now a 4th and goal.
That pattern and scheme was well defensed on 3rd down. He tried to just sprint from one side of the field to the other, and they got it to him quickly. But no chance at yards after the catch there. And
then he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. Trevor Lawrence with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Colts are able to cut into this lead as they score on the opening drive of the 2nd half. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead down to 10, 24-14. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the 2nd half.
And they were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead, and it's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the football again.
You can say that again. They've got to be pretty eager because, let's face it, they've had to sit through halftime, then sit on the sidelines and watch that drive. So you can bet that they're saying, let's get on with this. We got to go out there and get some more points.
Finding space at the 40. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
A 1st down throw for Mills.
And a throw right sideline is complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
Things looking much rosier for him here in week 2. They work with the lead as they've got it 1st and 10. Mills now. Crossing route catch made by Johnson. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
I know that no game in the NFL is ever easy, but they're making it look that way. Everything is being done with such precision. Just on this drive alone, 3 plays, 3 first downs. If you're on defense, you're scrambling, looking at each other, trying to figure out how we're going to slow these guys down.
And the Texans are going to be set up with a 1st and goal as good running gets them down to about the 4-yard line. Now Mills.
And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
Coaches talk about it all the time. Players talk about it as well. Excellent job staying disciplined in coverage and making that stop. Inside the red zone, every stop like that.
And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston.
Dameon Pierce
with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Texans will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd.
And his kick is good, but flags come in. Looks like we're going to get a roughing call here on the follow-through.
Roughing a kicker. Defense.
So they'll go ahead and accept the penalty.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield.
On the return from his end zone, Rodgers. And not a great return here. He'll make it back only to the 10-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Throwing now, Lawrence on first down. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much. Third quarter here in Indy. This is 2nd and 10. Now Lawrence. He's got his tight end. It's Albert Okwuegbunam.
That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
Now Lawrence.
He's going to air one out for Anderson. And this one is incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Running straight ahead, Taylor.
And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up.
The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They go to the ground again with Taylor. And this won't do it. He needed 6. He only got halfway there. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will see. Back now in Indianapolis. It's the Colts, so they've got the football, but they've got work to do, trailing here as we begin the 4th quarter.
Here we go. Got to have it. Lawrence. He'll get this one to Pittman. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
Again, it's Lawrence.
And that is incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass. Here we go.
They're going on 4th down. Lawrence.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And now this is going to be close. The defense says they stopped him, and they did. Good starting field position for him as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40.
On the ground, it's Pierce to begin the drive.
And some room to work.
And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43. First down, they go right back to Pierce.
And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Running from the shotgun with Madison. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Throwing, Mills.
He gets this one to Johnson.
And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
A gain of 3, second down. Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. And Pierce gets it again on second down. Just a couple on the ground there. That's going to bring up third and about 6. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. 7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. Running left here on the option, Mills. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. Gano's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch.
Well, that's the 3rd interception for Lawrence.
Desmond King picks it.
And the Texans are going to take possession of the football.
Here's Madison running on 1st down.
And he maneuvers up the middle for 3. And it's 2nd down.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. Gano's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So they got the turnover, started with great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm, and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there, that defense able to hold firm, backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. The goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And, boy, they came through in a big way. To them, even though they gave up 3, that's a win for their side.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Derek Stingley picks it.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD.
Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense, and certainly a signal caller, Charles, has thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping they're holding a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap 1.
Well, things obviously not going their way. Trailing here in the 4th quarter, and that penalty going to go ahead and give the other side some extra yardage.
We all know it's an intense game and things can get heated out there. That's part of the battle. The bottom line, you got to keep your cool. That was not an example of doing that.
Lawrence will try again after the pick 6.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Here's Lawrence.
He's going to let it fly. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Lawrence. The pressure gets to Lawrence, and he'll go down.
Holding offense. Let's go.
And they'll try and throw for it with Lawrence. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Down to a knee here as the Texans look to let the clock roll. So Houston going to come away